Yesterday and I think the lecture previous class, we introduced the al-mamnu min as-sarf, and yesterday we explained it, I think, to an appreciable extent. If any more explanation is needed, we could do so. Al-mamnu min as-sarf, that is when a word is affected by some reason that makes it not able to take kasra when it is supposed to. It takes fatha instead of that. And yesterday we saw that with bimasabiha, and it does not take tanween. When we say a word is mamnu min as-sarf, it does not take tanween, and it doesn't take kasra when it's supposed to. It takes fatha instead of that. Okay. So today we are just going to look at those words that fall in that category. Kawai. That is just what is in here, because we've already understood the topic itself. It says al-anwa'ul atiyatu min al-asma'i mamnu'atun min as-sarf. The following types of words are mamnu' min as-sarf. That is, they are prohibited from those changes, taking kasra and all that. So they are just going to show us the types. Okay. The first one, we have Zainabu, Maryamu, Fatimatu, Aishatu, Makkatu, Juddatu. And I think we've already written this category, that feminine proper nouns do not take tanween. We've already seen that in previous lessons. Let me take this off. So the first badge here, the number one, talks about feminine proper nouns. So we can just label it if you've not done that list already. Number one is feminine proper nouns. They do not take the tanween, and also they take fatha instead of the kesra. And then the number two, you see this number two is also, it's masculine in meaning. It's just like the first one, masculine in meaning, but it's feminine. See, Hamza tu, Usama tu, Muawiyah tu, Talha tu. And so it is treated just like the first one. So we can put these two together. So when we say feminine, we mean feminine in its structure, in its writing, not just the meaning. So when it comes in its writing and it is feminine, then we know that it is also affected. So when you have Hamzatu, it's a masculine name. Osama is a name for a masculine person. Muawiyah is the name of a man. Talha is the same thing, the name of a man. But then we realize that it's written like a feminine word. In that case, it is also affected. So that is also mamnu min as-sarf. And then the number three is actually in A and B. We have Uthmanu, Affanu, Sufyanu, Marwanu, Nu'manu. Okay. So these are nouns that end in alif and nun, alif and nun, alif and nun, alif and nun, alif and nun. So you have this meter. You have some 2 meters here. You have, well, let's say 3. You have fu'lan. The first meter you have fu'lan. That is the Uthman, Sufyan, Nu'man. Those are on the meter fu'lan. Then you have okay, Affan and all those would also follow that same rhyme. Affan, and then Marwan is Fa'lan. Okay, so we have the nouns that are ending in alif and nun, alif and nun, alif and nun, alif and nun. Those also do not take the tanween. Just like Ridwan. So these nouns that end with alif and nun zaida, that is how we call it. alif and nun za'ida. Alif and nun that is additional. They are not part of the root of the word. So like Uthman, the root of the word is Ain Tha Mim. Affan, the root of the word is Ain Fa, Ain and the Fa, Affa. Sufyan, the root of the word is the Sin, Fa and the Yai. They are the root. Marwan, you have the Mim, Ra, Waw. And then Nu'man, Nun, Ain, Mim. The Alif and Nun are additions. They are additional letters to the word. And so when you have a noun like this, just like Ridwan, the word is Ra, Dad, Waw. So sometimes the waw becomes alif, sometimes it becomes yai, like Radiya, like Rida. So you realize that it is 3 letters. And then the alif and nun is added, Ridwan. So when you have a word that a noun, a proper noun in that case, and there is an additional alif and nun, it becomes mamnu min as-sarf. Where the name Uthman is quite popular to us. Even Sufyan and Ridwan, they are popular names. They are popular examples to that. And then you have the B, Kaslan, Jaw'an, Atshan, Sha'ban, Mal'an. All these are Shab'an, Afwan, Shab'an, Mal'an. All these are adjectives. The B here, adjectives that end in alif and nun. Adjectives that end in alif and nun are also mamnu min as-sarf. Adjectives that end in alif and nun are also mamnu min as-sarf. So not like jamilun, not like al-waladu jamilun, not like al-bintu kabira, al-bintu kabira, not those kind of adjectives. When you find adjectives like this, kaslan, jaw'an, atshan, shab'an, mal'an, they are all mamnu min as-sarf. And kaslan means lazy, lazy. Jaw'an means hungry. Atshan means thirsty, thirsty. Shab'an means satisfied. That means you've eaten to your full. Shab'an, ana shab'an. Mal'an means full. If something is filled up, like a rubber, a container is filled up, we say mal'an. So all these adjectives that come in this meter, on the meter fa'alan, any adjective on the meter fa'alan is also mamnu' min as-sarf. Then these are the most popular ones actually, that they have stated here for us. The number 4A, Ahmadu, Anwaru, Akbaru, you've already seen that we've said nouns, proper nouns that look like verbs. They look like ajlisu, adhabu. So you can come from verbs and just come and enter here. You realize that they fit perfectly. Azhabu, adrusu, ahmadu, anwaru, akbaru, as'adu. So the nouns just looks like the verbs. In that case, they become mamnu' min as-sarf because verbs do not take tanween. So when a noun looks like it, the noun also does not take tanween. It gets affected by looking like it. As the hadith says, Man tashabaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Whoever acts like a particular people, he is part of them. So we can just use that ruling to affect these verbs here. Man tashabaha biqawmin, any verb that looks like, any noun, proper noun that looks like verb becomes mamnu' min as-sarf. And we've seen these two, which is the colors. We've said that the colors are also mamnu' min as-sarf. Abyadu, aswadu, ahmaru, asfaru, akhdaru, azraku. We said the colors are also mamnu' min as-sarf. And also we've seen this, William, Edward, London, Baris. We said foreign names, asma ajnabiyya. Asma ajnabiyya. They are also mamnu' min as-sarf. Foreign names, names that are not Arabiya. And then we come to the 6A, Agniya'u, Asdiqa'u, Aqwiya'u, Atibba'u. The only thing here is words that end like this. We call it alif al-mamduda. Al-alif al-mamduda. Words that end in alif al-mamduda. When we hear alif al-mamduda, we mean alif after which there is a hamza. It makes it mamduda, bimana, it is stretched. Because if a word ends with just the alif, you say asdiqa, you end it there. Agniya, it ends there. Akwi. But if because of the hamza, you now say agniya, you stretch the a. Asdiqa, akwiya, it has to be stretched. Even when you are reading the Quran and you find a mad alif, after which there is hamza, see the recitation is stretched. You stretch the mad. So we call it alif al-mamduda. Any kalima that ends with alif al-mamduda, then it is also mamnu min as-sarf. Just like asma'u. 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 Words like this also are mamnu min as-sarf. You can add it. I think this one was not captured in those things that we did. Okay, so you find this one here. Fuqara'u, wuzara'u, zumala'u, ulama'u. Same thing. Fuqara'u, wuzara'u, zumala'u, ulama'u. So that also falls under the same umbrella. So these two are captured under the same umbrella. We have masajidu, words that fall under the mita mafa'il, that is the jim. And then words that fall under mafa'ilu, mafa'ilu. Okay. I think the meanings, wuzara'u, okay, we have wuzara'u, ministers. Wuzara'u, plural of wazir. Zumala'u, plural of zamil, colleague, your colleague or mate. Fanadiku, we have daqa'iku, the plural of daqiqa. Daqa'iku, the plural of daqiqatun, minutes. Then you have manadilu, plural of mindil, handkerchief, towel. Mafatihu, fanajinu. Fanajinu is the plural of finjan. That is like a cup, a jar or a cup. Finjan. Kerasi, plural of kursi. Okay, so this was just, as I said previously, we were just going to see the types of words that fall under the mamnu min as-sarf. But as a topic, mamnu min as-sarf, we've understood what the topic meant. Okay. Sila, I wanted to find something here. Okay, so that is that for that topic. So you just write these words and vowelize their endings. I think they've mixed up mamnu min as-sarf and those that are not mamnu min as-sarf. So they want you to vowelize it. So of course, Muhammadun, Khalidun, Maryamu, Fatimatu, Abbasun, Hamzatu, Masajidu, Kutubun, Aqlamun, Manadilu. So that is just the practice they want you to do. They want you to rewrite them and vowelize them. Okay. I wanted us to find examples from the Quran. Okay. The last two, is it this? The jim and the dal? Okay, the jim and the dal is the meter that we wrote. We wrote mafa'il and said anywhere that fall on the meter mafa'il is mamnu min as-sarf. And then yesterday we added mafa'ilu. We said it is also mamnu min as-sarf. So anywhere that falls on the meter mafa'il and mafa'ilu, they become mamnu min as-sarf. So we already had those meters. And these are the examples. Masajidu, mafa'il. Madarisu, mafa'ilu. Fanadiku, mafa'ilu. Makatibu, mafa'ilu. Daqa'iku is also mafa'ilu. Daqa'iku and fanadiku, they will even fall under the fawa'il. You see, I said we have mafa'il and fawa'il. So fanadiku and daqa'iku will fall under fawa'il because they do not have the meme. So those meters, where does that fall on? Those meters, those rhymes, they are mamnu min as-sarf. That covers the two, the jim and the dal. Masajidu, madarisu, fanadiku, come here, manadilu, mafatihu, that is the mafa'il. Okay. And also, okay. And also, you see, we wrote mafa'ilu. And then we wrote mafa'ilu. And then we have fawa'ilu. This fawa'ilu, it also has fawa'ilu. The rhyme with the mafa'ilu is the same thing, but it's just the letters. So I would just want you to have all the meters such that in any case you find yourself, you know what you are about. So mafa'ilu has mafa'ilu and a ya'i madda coming at the end there. Fawa'ilu also has fawa'ilu, a ya'i madda coming at the end there. So you can just attach that meter. It doesn't reduce much, but then you can just add it to make it complete. Okay. I wanted to find some examples for us in the Quran. Okay. Let me find this verse. I want to find some verses for us as examples because we are almost done with whatever business we are doing here. Okay, we can look at Surah Al-Ankabut, chapter 29, verse 10. You can note it down. Chapter 29, verse 10, Surah Al-Ankabut. We have وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ فَإِذَا. You see, this was what I was saying. If there is a mad, a hamza after alif, mad, you stretch it a bit. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ فَإِذَا أُوذِيَ فِي اللَّهِ جَعَلَ فِتْنَةَ النَّاسِ كَعَذَابِ اللَّهِ وَلَئِنْ جَاءَ نَصْرٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ لَيَقُولُنَّ إِنَّا كُنَّا مَعَكُمْ. And he says, أَوَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِأَعْلَمَ bi, and he says a'lama, not bi'a'lami, because a'lama is a noun, it's an adjective. A'lama nas, I need the most knowledgeable of people. A'lama kaza. But when we give it harf jar, You now say bi'a'lama, not bi'a'lamin. أَوَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِأَعْلَمَ بِمَا فِي صُدُورِ الْأَعْلَمِينَ. So if you have a noun that is on the meter, that looks like a verb, like af'ala, af'alu, ajlisu, adrusu, adhabu, a word on such meters, like ahmadu, a'lamu. In that case, you need to make it mamnu min as-sarf. And where you're supposed to take kasra, like bi'a'lama, bi'a'lami, you have to give it fatha instead. Okay, let's see. I think there is another verse. Okay, let me see if I can fit the verse. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Okay, okay, we can look at Surah to Saba in Surah to Saba, that is chapter 34, verse number 13. Chapter 34, verse number 13. يَعْلَمُونَ لَهُ مَا يَشَاءُ مِنْ مَحَارِيبَ. يَعْلَمُونَ لَهُ مَا يَشَاءُ مِنْ مَحَارِيبَ وَتَمَاثِيلَ. So if you are looking at that verse, you see something. Stalima is off. Let's watch out and see if she comes in. So Surah to Saba, verse number 13. That is chapter 34, verse 13. يعلمون له. Okay, I think she's back. Okay, Jamil. So we were talking about Surah to Saba, that is chapter 34, verse number 13. Surah to Saba, chapter 34, verse number 13. We read, يَعْلَمُونَ لَهُ مَا يَشَاءُ مِنْ مَحَارِيبَ. Maharib, min. Though there is min, but it ends with mahariba. And it says watamathila. Watamathila. And look at the next one. Wajifanin. That one, because it's not mamnu min as-sarf, it came with the kasratain. Wajifanin. If you are looking, you observe this. So the min is supposed to affect the maharib, affect the tamathil, and affect the jifan, because they are all connected with wa. It says wajifanin kal jawabi wa kudurin. So all those that come with the wawa are affected by the min. They take kasratain, but then maharib did not even take the kasra, and it did not take the tanween. Tamathil did not take the kasra, it did not take the tanween. It took fatha instead. So that also falls under the mamnu min as-sarf. Okay, we have Surah Al-Hajj. Surah Al-Hajj, verse number 28. Surah Al-Hajj, that is chapter 22, verse 28. Chapter 22, verse 28. We read, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ, not مَنَافِعًا, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ. That same chapter, verse 33 also, لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ. لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ. That same chapter, verse 33. Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 33. لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ. مَفَائِلُ, not manafi'un. We find that in a lot of other places. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ. You look at Surah Al-Yasin, Surah Yasin. That is chapter 36, verse 73. You read, وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ وَمَشَارِبُ. مَنَافِعٌ وَمَشَارِبُ. Instead of مَنَافِعٌ وَمَشَارِبٌ, the tanween does not come, because the words are mamnu min as-sarf. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعٌ وَمَشَارِبُ. And Surah Yasin, chapter 36, verse number 73. So all these are examples. So whenever you are reading and you see any of the meter, any of the words that we've spoken about come in what you are reading, you should know how to treat it. You should know that this word here that I'm seeing is mamnu min as-sarf. Then you treat it as such. Okay. Let me see if okay, وَإِذَا هُيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ. This verse also. وَإِذَا هُيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا. Let me just find the verse number. That is Surah An-Nisa. Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 86. Surah An-Nisa, verse 86. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ. If you are greeted by a greeting, فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ. بِأَحْسَنَ, not بِأَحْسَنِ مِنْهَا. فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا. I wanted us to للناس تجعلونه قراءة. I wanted us to exhaust that enough examples. من ديارهم من حق إلا أن يقول ربنا ولولا دفع. أيوة, this one. Okay, let's look at maybe this last example, and then we move on. As we are reading every now and then, we will be finding them. When you find any word that comes in a particular place where it's supposed to take kasra, it does not take the kasra. When it takes fatha, it means it is mamnu min as-sarf. You find a word where it is supposed to take tanween. It is not having alif and lam. It's supposed to take tanween, but it's not taking tanween. It's also mamnu min as-sarf. So let's look at Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 40. Surah Al-Hajj, that is chapter 22, verse number 40. الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم بغير حق إلا أن يقولوا ربنا الله ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لهدمت. Let's listen here. لهدمت صوامع, not صوامع. The next word after it, وبيع. The next word takes the tanween. So you come to learn that صوامع should have taken tanween, but then it's because of a reason. That is the mamnu min as-sarf. وبيع. وصلوات. And look, ومساجد. ومساجد. So صوامع did not take tanween. Masajidu did not take tanween. Okay, so let's just suffice with that. That we've at least learned our mamnu min as-sarf to an appreciable extent. And for the fact that this is just a beginner's lesson, I've hardly seen mamnu min as-sarf being fixed in a beginner's lesson, but then it's worth knowing, so that when you are reading the Quran or something, you're able to appreciate what is happening. Okay. If there is any question with regards to that, we treat it. If there is not, we look at the last lesson of the book, I think. Ad-Darusu Thalithu wal-Ishrun. Ya Allah. Any question? هل من سؤال؟ Okay. So we have الدرس الثالث والعشرون. Lesson 23. Alhamdulillah. Lesson 23 says الدرس الثالث والعشرون. المدرس, I think it's حوار بين المدرس وأحمد. So الحوار بين المدرس وأحمد. Okay. من أنت يا أخي? Who are you, my brother? أنا طالب جديد. And I'm a new student. ما اسمك? اسمي أحمد. No تنوين. من أين أنت? أنا من باكستان. Look at it. أنا من باكستان. Pakistan is a foreign name. عندي سبعة دفاتر. Look at it. عندي سبعة دفاتر, but it comes دفاتر because it is on the meter فواعل. فواعل. So it's supposed to end with. It's ممنوع من الصرف. I have 7 books. I have 7 books. There's liman here. Who does it belong to? Hati ya ustaz. Bring it, oh ustaz. Hati bimana bring it. Hati ya ustaz. Hadha li. This is for me. Wa hadha li Muhammadin. Let's take note of this. Wa hadha li Muhammadin. Because of li, it has to end with kasratain. Wa hadha li Hamidin. Wa hadha li Ibrahim. Li Ibrahim. Wa hadha li Uthman. Wa hadha li Yusuf. Wa hadha li Talha. So you see, they make a merge of the mamnu' min as-sarf and those that are mutasarrif, those that undergo sarf. They make a merge of them so that you can see clearly what is happening. هذا لمحمد وهذا لحامد وهذا لإبراهيم وهذا لعثمان وهذا ليوسف وهذا لطلحة. So that we appreciate how the mamnu' min as-sarf works. أهذا كتابك يا محمد? Is this your book, O Muhammad? لا, هذا كتاب حمزة. I think this last lesson is merging every one of the topics that we did. Let me just go back a bit and show you something. Man anta ya akhi? Ana talibun jadidun. And now in its adjective. And then he brings us to the mamnu min as-sarf Ahmadu. Min aina anta? Adam in Pakistani brings us to the mamnu min as-sarf, and then he brings us to the qaida of numbers. Daftar is masculine, so the number comes feminine. So indi sab'atu dafatir, making a merge with the meter fawa'il to show us that instead of this becoming kasra as mudaf ilay, it took fatha instead because it's mamnu min as-sarf. So he merges everything, almost everything. And he brings ahaza, the haza we started with. Ahaza kitabuka ya Muhammad, is this your book, O Muhammad? La, hadha kitabu hamzata. We know that hamza should come kasra. Hadha kitabu hamzati because of idafa, because it's mudaf and mudaf ilay. But it comes hadha kitabu hamzata because hamza is mamnu min as-sarf. Aina aliyun ya ikhwan? Where is Ali, or brothers? ذهب إلى الرياض. He's gone to Riyadh. وأين يعقوب? وأين يعقوب? Look here, أين علي? وأين يعقوب? يعقوب ممنوع من الصرف. It does not take tanween. ذهب إلى مكة. He's gone to Makkah. Makkah is also mamnu' min as-sarf. It's a proper noun, a feminine proper noun. Feminine proper noun, as we said, are mamnu' min as-sarf. Just like Zainab, just like Khadijatu, just like Aminatu, Makkatu. So Zahaba ila, even though there is ila, we have Makkata. Says Aina Ishaq. Where is Ishaqu? Not Ishaqun. But Aina Ishaqu. Where is Ishaq? Kharaja ila al-mudir. He's gone out to the head, the headmaster. Or Mata kharaja. When did he go out? Kharaja qabla khamsi daqa'iqa. Kharaja qabla khamsi daqa'iqa. And I told you how this works, the qabla and a time. That is ago. He went out 5 minutes ago. He went out qabla khamsi daqa'iqa, 5 minutes ago. Daqa'iq is also mamnu' min as-sarf because it's on the meter fawa'il. Okay, that ends this. Is this really the last topic? Yeah, it is. Very simple like that. Okay, تمارين. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية. It says these examples are for you to just read and just think, ponder over. Min Muhammadin. This is min Muhammadin ila Muhammadin li Muhammadin kitabu Muhammadin. So harf jar, harf jar, harf jar, and this comes as mudaf ilayh. It comes here as mudafun ilayhi. Okay, then Zainabu, we look at how it affects Zainab. Min Zainaba, ila Zainaba, li Zainaba, kitabu Zainaba. Very good, putting it close for us to see the changes, the effect of the word being mamnu min as-sarf. Okay. It says اقرأ واكتب, read and write. هذا الكتاب لمحمد وذلك لزينب. ذهب خالد إلى أحمد. ذهب أبي إلى مكة وذهب عمي إلى جدة. أخت مروان مريضة. أخت مروان مريضة. You remember we said this kind of words are mamnu min as-sarf, like Ridwan, like Uthman, like Affan, like Sufyan. So you say أخت مروان مريضة, not أخت مرواني, because it's mudaf ilayh. أخت مروان مريضة. أين زوج خديجة? أين زوج خديجة? Where is Khadija's husband. هو في London. So London will also end with fatha. سيارة حامد جديدة. سيارة حامد جديدة. وسيارة إبراهيم. سيارة حامد but سيارة إبراهيم قديمة. بيت خالد كبير وبيت أسامة صغير. Please, on your own, read this over. If you have the hard copy, read it over and over and try to identify the mamnu min as-sarf and give them the appropriate vowels. أين ذهب أبوك يا ليلى؟ أين ذهب أبوك يا ليلى؟ ذهب إلى بغداد. إلى بغداد. في إسطنبول مساجد كثيرة. Even Istanbul I would take فتحة. مساجد كثيرة. In Istanbul there are a lot of masajid. عندي 5 مفاتيح. عندي 5 مفاتيح. الكعبة في مكة. الكعبة في but مكة. في هذا الشارع. في هذا الشارع 3 مساجد. في هذا الشارع 3 مساجد. هذا الطبيب اسمه ويليام. So William will have just 1 Dhamma. وهو من لندن فتحة. وذلك اسمه لويس. We also have Dhamma. وهو من باريس فتحة. So when it's supposed to take kasra, it will take fatha instead. اسمه ويليام Dhamma. وهو من لندن. من London, it will take fatha instead. Okay. سيارة. سيارتي لونها أخضر. You know the colors are also mamnu min as-sarf. عندي قلم. قلم أحمر. البيت الحرام في مكة. Regardless the fee. البيت الحرام في مكة. That is Kaaba يعني. ذهب أحمد just 1 Dhamma. ذهب أحمد إلى محمد. ذهب محمد 2 Dhamma إلى أحمد. إلى أحمد. أأنت من مكة؟ أأنت من مكة؟ لا، أنا من الطائف. أنا من الطائف. أخت فاطمة. أخت فاطمة عفوا طالبة. ضمتين. You put 2 Dhamma. أخت فاطمة طالبة is a student. Okay. With the Makkah, Bakka and all that, we see in Surah Ali Imran, that is the chapter 3 of the Quran, Surah Ali Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 96. إن أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة. للذي ببكة. Bakkata is regardless the fact that there is a B in front of it, which should make it majrur. Okay. Just after that verse, we even have the Ibrahim being affected. The verse number 6, number 97. فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم. مقام إبراهيم. Okay. So it says اقرأ الكلمات الآتية واكتبها مع ضبط أواخرها. Read the following words, write them and vowelize their endings. Give vowels to the endings. Aminatu min aminata. Aminatu min aminata. Li Ahmada. Ahmadu. Uthmanu min Pakistana. Pakistanu. Li Khadijata. London. Londonu. Ila Baghdad. Istanbul. Makkata. Makkatu. Fi Makkata. Juddatu. So just like that, Masajidu fi Madarisa. Yaqubu li Ishaqa. Muawiyatu min Muawiyata. Li Aishata. So if you say min Aishata, Aishatu Muhammadun Khalidun min Abbasin. Nu'manu. Nu'manu. Just one dhamma. Hamidun. So you read it over on your own. Try to get familiar with the vowels. And then he says, Uktubul a'dad min talata ila ashara. So you see here, he comes out clear to us with the qaida. Write the numbers from 3 to 10. Waj'al kullan min al-kalimat al-atiya ma'dudan laha. We've seen this kind of assignment where you put a number from 3 to 10 in front of these words. So he says, Salathatu masajida. Arba'atu fanadiqa. Khamsatu manadila. Khamsatu manadila. So you do it like that for all the rest. Miftah, the plural is mafatih. Sadiq, the plural is asdiqa, which is also mamnu min as-sarf. We said words that end with alif al-mamdud, alif with hamza after it. Asdiqa, ashya, asma, those kind of nouns. Zamil will also be zumala'u. So you see it's also mamnu min as-sarf. Just like asdiqa'u, zumala'u. Kursi, we know the plural already, kerasi. Madrasatun, madaris, daqiqa, daqa'iq. They are all mamnu min as-sarf. So you just bring the number in front and then you make sure you end it with fatha instead of the kasra it's supposed to take, and it doesn't take tanween. Alhamdulillah, I think this brings us to the end of the book. Fahras, when you see fahras like this, it means content. Content. Then we have al-mawdu', subject or topic. As-safhatu, page. Fahras, content. Al-mawdu', topic. As-safha, page. Now, this has brought us to the end of the book 1 of Duruusul اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها. Please, if there is any question, let's ask. We are, alhamdulillah, done with book 1. Anything in book 1 at all, you didn't get anything at all with the lessons themselves, anything at all, just anything. Please, let's exhaust the time cordially. I think we can allow our microphones now if we are in a conducive environment or the network is allowing for that, and then you say what you want to say, inshallah. Anybody has any question, any concern, anything at all? Plus what we should do after this. Though we previously suggested that we do a quick revision, but then if there is any other suggestion, we can come up with it. We have anything?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my question is actually from the Juha video.
Okay. Okay.
I realized that Homer said Ibn Khamish when he was referring to the electric donkey.
He said Ibn
Khamish.
Let me see. First, I think he said, I remember he said Ibn Nas.
And then he corrected himself.
And he said Ibn, wasn't it Hamir?
Hamir.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Let me just play it right now. Though I can't play it for it to sound in. So I'll just play it with one earpiece like this. I can't let it come in the recording because we are going to post the video. It's copyrighted. So I'll just play it a little bit in my ear. Okay. These guys are funny. يبدو أنه متعلم وابن ناس. And after that, وابن ناس, ابن ناس, the nas is people, yani like a nas.
Yes.
And he said Ibn Hamir. Like he corrected
Hamir.
Hamir.
Yes.
Yes, the plural of
okay. Himar.
The plural of Himar.
Yes, that's donkey, right?
يبدو أنه متعلم ابن ناس قبض ابن حمير.
Okay.
أيوة. Normally when they say
so that's the plural.
Yeah, that's the plural of Himar.
Kemal. Okay.
Yeah. When they say Ibn Nas like that, what they mean is not like literally the son of people, kind of people's favorites. You are like, you are good, you are liked. So if someone say Ibn Nas,
Oh,
it's not like just son of people or something, like people like you. It has that meaning. You have to change quickly.
and then when Juha was telling Huma that he sent an image to China, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, he said this bitamani wal kamali.
Well,
Is
Kemal.
that it?
Aywa.
Wal kamali. Bitamani wal kamali.
Aywa. Bitamam wal
What
Kemal.
does
Bitamam,
it mean?
you know, the word tamam and Kamal mostly are understood to be like, let's say, synonyms.
Ways or what?
At-tamam bimana tam, complete. Al-kamal also bimana complete. You know, al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. You know, but the scholars have shown a thin difference between these words. And they've said that the kamal is actually a completion that you can't add anything in it again. You see, when we say something has reached kamal, it means that it has reached perfection, full perfection. So, but when we say tamam, bimana, it is complete, but then it can still have addition. Well, let's say I'm satisfied, but then I can still take in something. That is tamam. Al-kamal is complete. So normally we say, when we make a mistake, when I started working, when I do something, I make a mistake, I'm so worried, and my senior would always repeat, Al-kamalu lillahi wahda. Al-kamalu lillahi wahda. And when somebody makes a mistake, that is how, if you're a boss or something, that is how you respond, you tell the people. It's a way of motivation. Perfection is for Allah alone. Don't overwork yourself. So that's what he used to tell me. Al-kamalu lillahi wahda. Even the graphic, that has editors, a lot of them, that is what he used to say. They have a lot of people who read it, like about 3 people who would have to read through before it is printed. Headlines on front pages, they make mistake. So he says, Al-kamalu lillahi wahda. Perfection, that is complete completion, is for Allah alone. But tamam, a certain complete that you can still add something. So you should be okay with tamami wal kamal, yani completely. It has your kamal, it has your tamam. So it's a way of saying something is perfectly like you. Aywa. But then it wasn't so. It wasn't so. Joha didn't know. He didn't know what he went.
Yes.
That's why when he says, Ayya ila al-amal, the donkey was asking for computer, he was surprised.
Computer.
He didn't know, only my computer. Nazra was Gargir of Joa is crazy. Well, like, it's quite an interest. I don't know the idea, who got this idea, made this beautiful cartoon. Very amazing work.
And then when he was when Huma called the electric donkey stupid,
Yeah.
it said Ma'lumat al-Fatiha.
Ma'lumat
Is it Fatiha or
khati'a.
hat? Okay.
Khati'a, yani khata. Wrong info.
Fatiha.
Ma'lumat khati'a. Like this. Ma'lumat khati'a.
Okay.
Wrong info.
I heard it as Fatiha.
Ma'lumat Made error.
And objection was translated as injar, right? I mean, injar was translated.
I translated it as objection. Eh?
Yes.
No, okay. In that is like warning. In that. Mother, the way he said, mother is scared. And bring okay, the in that is caution. Be cautioned. Be cautioned.
Caution.
Well, that is how, but that is the warning. That is how it translated here.
Yeah.
Be cautioned. And why the warning? Walimal in that. You are
And Huma seems not to know the answers to all the questions he's asked.
Huma is supposed to be a donkey and he's supposed to act stupid. Huma is supposed to act stupid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be stupid, but sometimes it's wiser than Joha. Sometimes he seems wiser. ولم الإنذار. Okay, مفاجأة. Okay, welcome. مفاجأة. The root word is faj'a. You see, it's built on the fa, jim, and hamza. It builds on this. Like I'm talking, I say faj'atan zahara Muhammad, and all of a sudden faj'atan yani appeared in a surprising manner. Faj'atan zahara Muhammad, but then it doesn't come foul jim hamza like this. Normally you see faja'a. See faja'ani, something like this. Faja'ani akhi. Faja'ani akhi, kind of my brother surprised me. Afwan. So are we still on our suggestion that in the next lesson we do a quick run through? Okay, okay. Then inshallah we will do it such next week Saturday. Inshallah we'll try and then run through. Okay, okay. Mariam has endorsed it too. So inshallah next week we will do a quick run through. Maybe with the Saturday and Sunday we can run through all of it. Aywa. Maybe with the Saturday and Sunday we can run through all of it, and then thereafter we look at some other lessons. If we find it fit starting book 2, fine. If we prefer to do some personal lessons, maybe I create some lessons from my end, that is also fine. But then we will continue with the Joha. I would be sharing the next episode, inshallah. As I've been saying, you know, it's if you've been watching it, you realize it's quite beneficial, very, very helpful with regards to the listening ability, and also with regards to vocabularies and how they speak. Very classical language, very beautiful language. Okay, so inshallah, till we meet again, may Allah grant us beneficial knowledge and make our knowledge beneficial to the ummah at large. Allahumma alimna ma yanfa'una وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.